Okay, I wanted to put some gauges in the old Wolverine R Spec. These are little 1/2-inch gauges, or 1.5-inch gauges made by Bosch. They make a 2-inch gauge, which would work just fine. I just took a 1.5-inch hole saw, cut 4 holes to mount them in. If you got the 2-inch gauges, just get a 2-inch hole saw. But they look pretty good. I got the voltmeter wired to a hot wire. When you turn the key on, a little voltmeter comes on. Says you got 12.5 volts. I picked that wire up from the light switch. There's a plug-in on the back of the light switch. You unplug it. There's 3 wires. The red wire is hot when you turn the key on, so you want to splice into that. That way when you turn the key on, the voltmeter works. Turn the key off, it don't work. And then I believe there's a blue and yellow wire that runs your lights, low beam, high beam. The yellow wire, I believe, I picked up for the 3 little light bulbs that go on the gauges. That way when you turn the lights on, the gauges light up at night, if you plan on doing any night riding. But I took the warning plate off. It's held on by 4 little pop rivets. Just take an 1/8-inch drill bit and drill them out. I don't know why they want a big warning switch on a dash, or a big warning sign on a dash. It's like buying a screwdriver and having a big sign on it that says don't poke it in your eyeball. But anyway, get rid of that. And I'll show you how I hook the oil pressure and the temperature gauges up. On the oil pressure, this thing holds about 5-10 pounds idling. About 55 pounds when you got it revved up there. I guess that's normal, but anyway, it lets you know. It's better than an idiot light. You got idiot lights on the on your controller up there, but I like a gauge. Temperature gauge goes up about 190, 195. The fan kicks on and it'll cool it right down pretty fast. But it averaged around 160, 180 when you're just normal trail riding or running up and down the road. But to mount the gauges, you got to pull this cowling off. Take these plastic studs off the front, and then you got a bolt under here and about 6 or 8 bolts around here, and this whole thing slides. You can, of course, I had to take my windshield off, but the whole thing slides up the roll cage out of your way, and you can get to the back side of your gauges and hook them all up. The little tube for the oil pressure, brought it around, and this is your oil cooler. I just spliced into one of the oil cooler lines with a little brass T, and your oil connector hooks to it there with a compression fitting. You can get these in any hardware store, the T's, and I put 2 nipples on it, a couple of stainless steel hose clamps. Just cut about 1 inch out of your line, slip that in there, put the hose clamps on, hook your compression fitting up. You got oil pressure. Now this line here is your temperature, water temp. I did the same thing. I came down to you want to go to the driver's side of your radiator, because that's where the water comes in first. It's the hottest water. Your water flow actually goes through the radiator and then comes out. So if you want to catch your hottest water temp, you go on the driver's side. But we did the same thing on that. Got a T fitting. It's a little bigger. I think it's a 1/2 inch water pipe, 2 nipples, 2 stainless steel clamps, fitting screws on the top, if you can see it there, just like the oil gauge. But that's an easy way to do it. But get the old hood back on it. We put the Extreme Metal Products winch bumper. Got a KFI winch on the front. Got the Extreme Metal Products windshield. Little Lexan windshield. And had to put the extensions on it. I don't know why they don't come with those. Something else to add. Got the EMP rear bumper. And went ahead and threw a winch on back. In case you get into something you can only get out of backwards. But, oh, and then we got our road traveling sign. And this little town out in the country, you can run up and down the highways as long as you got your slow moving vehicle sign on there. They think it's a piece of farm equipment. But anyway, that's it. Got her in pretty good shape.